Just a few hours ago, WWE started a series of roster layoffs. Fraser and Sam Driver went live on the Cultaholic YouTube channel earlier on to share some of those first names, and there are more names to add tonight. Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful said that there would be NXT layoffs coming from 5 p.m. Eastern, and that has been the case. It's not just been NXT stars let go. Since then, there have been a few more main roster stars gone as well, and we're going to start with two of those main roster stars in Maximum Male Models. Marche and Mansoor are done with WWE. This was a really tough one because it was a tag team that had such character, and they were quite divisive, admittedly, but there was a lot to love about what they were doing, I believe. And there were reports that came out that said that Vince McMahon didn't quite get what they were about, and that can pretty much be a death knell for a persona if that is the case. Regardless, whenever they had screen time, they always made some magic with it. They both have since commented on social media. Marche sharing a post online saying, after almost 10 years of making something out of nothing, I'm excited to spread my wings and be myself for the first time. Let's take this anime reference to the next level. It was accompanied by a photo and the caption, "We may be cringe, but we are free of our WWE contracts." I believe Marche, we will be sharing stories. I don't know. He'll be definitely doing something interesting. He's going to be live on Twitch from 8:30 Eastern. Go support. Former Raw commentator for a hot minute, Dio Madden, / former member of Retribution, Mace / Maximum Male Model, Marche. Mansoor has also shared a video online. We can call him Mansoor again now, can't we? Incredibly excited for the future. He puts himself over in a video. Of course he does, because he's fantastic. His little one was in the video. His better half was filming it. And he's taking bookings and doing children's parties from December the 20th. And then he says in Arabic, "He was still a goddamn national hero. That you are, sir." That date is important, December the 20th, I believe. When it comes to these releases, as is normally the case, the main roster stars have a 90-day no-compete. And when it comes to NXT stars, you're looking at a 30-day no-compete for them. Now, there's obviously some main roster stars who are doing stuff in NXT. I'd assume that whatever they contract they signed applies to them. One of those is another release that we're going to talk about now, that being Dana Brooke, a multi-time bodybuilding and fitness competitor and champion before she joined WWE in 2013. Over 10 years spent on WWE's books in the early version of NXT after it got the game show out of its system. She debuted on the main roster in 2016. She was in the mix with the Women's Revolution in the early stages there. She was part of Titus Worldwide with Apollo Crews and Titus O'Neil. They famously nearly got with Batista in the run-up to WrestleMania 36. It took a pandemic to keep them apart. A 15-time WWE 24/7 champion as well. She was always really vocal about getting opportunities and gaining momentum. Certainly on social media, she did that. She felt like, it seemed to feel like NXT was somewhere that she could make her own as well, and I'm sad that we won't get to see that. I don't want to spend too much time fantasy booking where everyone lands next, because it's their destiny, it's their journey, but I just genuinely believe that someone like Dana Brooke is a great fit with Impact Wrestling. If I was Scott D'Amore, I'd be on the phone as soon as I can and say, come and join the Knockouts. I feel like that's a good fit for Dana Brooke. I really do. From the main roster as well, we've seen Shanky released from his contract. Dilsha Shanky joined WWE in 2020. He was one of a trifecta of Indian signings. He briefly formed a team with Veer Mahan. And then he ended up dancing with Jinder Mahal and dancing his way into all of our hearts. Mahal went off with Indu Sher, and it kind of left Shanky on an island unto himself. He got dancing with Samantha Irvin for a bit. That was fun. He made a return at the Superstar Spectacle in Hyderabad and challenged Gunter for the Intercontinental title unsuccessfully. And that was sort of the last hurrah of Shanky. Dabba Cato, there's another name that's gone from tonight as well. He joined WWE back in 2016. Debut back at the greatest Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia, where he was Babatunde. He became Dabba Cato, the Raw Underground blonde prodigy. He was Commander Aziz, Apollo Crews' security guard during Apollo's push around WrestleMania 37. He went back to Dabba Cato, and he's been doing a few bits in NXT as of late before being let go. Another NXT name that has departed is Quincy Elliott, a larger-than-life character. Certainly on screen. Quincy shared on Instagram, no longer with WWE, let the celebration begin. Quincy last competed for WWE on an NXT house show in August and has barely been featured outside of Level Up for several months before that. Yulisa Leon is gone. She is the daughter of Mexican star Bronco. Debuted on NXT back in 2021. And back in September last year, she revealed she torn her ACL and never really got the momentum back. She was in an NXT women's tag title match on SmackDown back in May, but hasn't really done anything of any major impact since then. Bryson Montana is a name that might not roll off your tongue, but another one released tonight, a young NXT talent who shared on socials, thanks to everyone that's been a part of this chapter with me. Now it's on to the next chapter. Daniel MacArthur. That, again, another name that you might not be overly familiar with, but he joined WWE through their Next in Line system, which was bringing in sports stars from outside of professional wrestling. He got a tryout at SummerSlam, but he's a former NCAA All-American track and field champion back at the University of North Carolina. And he never got an in-ring debut. He was sort of got the contract, but never quite made it onto television. And I am curious how much they will continue now that the mergers happen, how much they will continue to invest in those talent that they have on the periphery, whether or not they will sort of laser focus on the people they've got on the screen. Could potentially go that way. So those names released tonight, they go with some of the releases that you've already heard, including Mustafa Ali. A little bit more on that from House of Wrestling. They say one possible reason that was given to us for Ali's release was that his recent politically charged vignette on NXT TV, the change in character had been pitched by Ali for the main roster in the past, but was never followed through on. Once some in WWE saw the vignette on NXT, this is the one where he talks about Mustafa Ali's America. It was something that he really wanted to do a few years ago, never got a chance to. And they brought it to life, and I thought it was great. But apparently, according to House of Wrestling, some backstage, quote, freaked out because Fox had expressed nervousness about Ali heading in that direction, and the political anger was dropped very quickly after that. Whether that's anything to do with his departure, we don't quite know. Dolph Ziggler was another name that was let go earlier tonight. John Cena has tweeted love for Dolph Ziggler, and those two have been on the same side and against each other for many, many years. Cena tweeting 1,554 matches. Dolph Ziggler, hashtag respect. Some love from Cena towards Dolph. We've seen Elias released in the last few hours as well. He put out a tweet just a short while ago saying, from drifting onto the scene to WrestleMania with John Cena and The Undertaker to millions around the world, for years walking with Elias, a #1 iTunes album, and being my own younger brother Zeke while traveling around the world. It's been a blast and God is good. Elias leaving and revealing that he was Ezekiel. It's a bit like that tweet that does the round every so often of someone saying, I just got fired from KFC. Here are the 7 secret herbs and spices. Yeah, I was Ezekiel all the time. What? Kevin Owens, you're vindicated. All the best to Elias. Shelton Benjamin gone, as we mentioned earlier as well. He joined OVW back in 2000, debuted on WWE TV in 2002. Well over 20 years in WWE, on and off. Obviously, he spent some time away and came back again. A heck of a run. So those names also along with Riddick Moss, a.k.a. Madcap Moss, Rick Boogs, former tag partner of Shinsuke Nakamura, Emma, the manager and real life partner of Riddick Moss, Aaliyah also let go, and Top Dollar also released earlier on today as well. Those are the names that we have from Raw, from SmackDown, and from NXT that were released from WWE on this day, September the 21st, 2023. When it comes to days like this, they are grim to talk about. And to all those affected, we at Cultaholic said nothing but love. and we wish you nothing but the best. Here's Matt Cardona put out a fabulous tweet about it, a fabulous tweet that says it's a really good chance to get out there and grind and bet on yourself and make some magic. And no one knows that more than Matt Cardona. And he's a great example of somebody that went out there and really made it for himself after getting released from WWE. And I would like to see so many of these names going out there and really making something special in their post-WWE run. Really do hope that. We'll have more news on this and more on the latest wrestling news throughout the night and into the morning at cultaholic.com. Stay safe. Love you. Bye.